Good afternoon, English 111 students. So this tutorial is intended to walk you through the basics of accessing BCC's library resources. So in order to access these resources, you're going to need to have a current BCC ID, like this one, and you, I think, might have some trouble accessing these resources if there are any holds on your account. We're just going to go through the very basics of this and then reference a few databases, and then I'll produce more specific, specialized videos walking you through how to use each of those databases later on today. So, from the BCC homepage here, you'll want to click on Library, and then from here, things get weird. Articles and databases should get you there, but as you can see, it doesn't. Clicking on Research, though, you'll see that you can get to a tag that says A to Z Databases. And once you click on A to Z Databases, you'll have this giant list. And it is really a crazy list. Like, this is all the stuff you have access to as students at Bronx Community College. This represents millions and millions of dollars of intellectual property. I would say that obviously I'm a really cool person, and access to me is a great benefit for being a student at BCC, but this is probably the single most valuable thing that you have access to as a result of enrolling in this school. So I really recommend that you take advantage of these databases for this project, and that you take advantage of them just in general. Like, you can just mess around in these and have fun learning about topics if you're that particular kind of nerd. I know I was when I was your age. So, let's go through just the basics of logging in to one of these databases, and then we'll talk about what some of the best sort of suited databases for your research project are. So, I'm going to click on Academic Search Complete, which is one of the databases I recommend you use for this project. And as you can see, I am prompted at this point to enter my Bronx Community College library barcode. Now, on the back of this ID card, you will see a library ID number here. You'll notice that it is a different layout from the one there. That's because this help page is actually from before the redesign of the ID, so this help page is more than 2 years old. But if you enter your library ID, which is, as you can see, quite long, and then click Login, it should work pretty easily. I spoke with the library, and they said they uploaded all student IDs, but I had trouble logging in myself, so if you do have any trouble, this is the email you should contact the library front desk at, circulation@bcc.cuny.edu. I'd say I had about a 14-hour turnaround time from when I first lodged my complaint to when the complaint was actually addressed, so that's pretty good for an IT desk. Circulation@bcc.cuny.edu, again, should help you out. I'm hoping no one will have trouble with that. There's also another access point for many of these resources that I'll be going over later on today. The New York Public Library also allows you to access most of these resources, so I'll be composing a video on that as well, because many of you may be members, and they actually in many ways have a better library resource access program available to you. So it's more reliable. So I'm not going to go over any of this stuff right now. This will be featured in another video, but as you can see, logging in is fairly straightforward as long as you have your ID and that ID has been appropriately validated. Now, as for the databases themselves, I typed up some notes for you that you can review here by pausing this video if you want. I'm going to awkwardly pause so you can pause. Cool. All right. So I'm just going to kind of go over these in a little bit more detail than what I've typed up here. Academic Search Complete is a general purpose database that features both popular articles and academic articles. If you use refined search tools, basically if you use the advanced search tools to actually decide what you want to look for, I'd say it's actually the best database for this project. It'll give you access to the widest array of material, and it will give you the most results. The problem with that is that it can be overwhelming, and that if you don't use those search tools, you'll often find a lot of non-academic material presented as if it is academic material. Um, Opposing Viewpoints, on the other hand, is almost all popular articles. It is a great database for just getting a basic overview of a subject. It is not a good database for locating academic articles, but if you are struggling to come up with a particular concept for your paper, I really recommend taking a look at Opposing Viewpoints with either one of our classes topics or a topic that you're just passionate about or even interested in mind. Opposing Viewpoints will have something about a topic you want to go into. It does occasionally have academic articles, but it's not really what it's good for. It's great for giving you an overview of a topic and introducing you to, in that BEAM framework that we went over in class, argument sources, but it's not a great place to look for academic articles. JSTOR, on the other hand, is just academic articles. JSTOR is the database I used most frequently when I was in college. I found it really, really handy for a lot of stuff. The problem is, a lot of what JSTOR will throw at you is very, very complicated. It is complex language, very academic in focus, sometimes very narrow and specific, and it operates on the presumption that you have a working understanding of the topic that you're researching already. So as a result, JSTOR can be a little bit tough to use for all of your resources, but if you're having trouble locating academic sources on a given topic, I strongly recommend JSTOR. And then finally, there are databases that have sort of specialized scientific interests. The most prominent ones are PubMed, Science Direct, and SpringerLink. These databases specifically cater to people in the scientific disciplines. They, like JSTOR, present just a host of academic articles that are usually very focused on particular subjects. And as a result, you can easily find articles on subjects ranging from depression to like the rate at which people have heart attacks in New York to the way that food deserts impact maternal mortality rates. Like, it's highly specialized. And that makes it great for filling in holes in your research paper, but it's a really bad place to start your research process. So I don't recommend starting a research process there, but I do recommend using that as a resource to fill in any gaps you might have in your research paper as its topic develops. Okay, so hopefully that's enough to get you guys started in this, and then I'm going to compose specific individual videos for each of these databases, and I should have them posted by the end of the day today. All right, stay healthy and safe, everybody.